ఢిల్లీ యూనివర్సిటీలో విద్యార్థులతో గూగుల్ CEO Sundar Pichai మాట్లాడుతున్నారు. ఇప్పుడు లైవ్ చూద్దాం.
So always encourage, if you actually feel very secure in what you do, that means you're doing something comfortable and you're not pushing yourself. And so there are many times I've felt working with people in a group, am I doing enough? These people seem much better than me, and I think that's a inherent part of learning.
Chief, if there's one thing you want to take away from this hour you're getting with Sundar, may it be that. Let yourself be insecure from time to time. It's a lovely thing. The moment you start to get secure, and I can tell you we all, because we've seen a little bit more life, the moment you get secure, you're actually moving backwards. Okay, we've got a video question, and it's coming from IIT Kharagpur. So can we get the video question, please?
Mr. Pichai, greetings from IIT Kharagpur. My name is Hardik Adiyana. My question is, recently startups from IITs have been on the rise, and they're set to transform India into the Silicon Valley of the East. So from your point of view, how much impact do these startups really have on India's progress, and how do you think this impact will change the face of the nation in the coming years?
I'm not sure I got the last part.
How will this change the pace of the nation in the coming years?
Every year or 2 years, whenever I make these trips back here, I've always been waiting for this change in India. It was only when I came last year, I felt it very viscerally that, the startup culture had really taken hold here. It's incredible to see. For the scale of India over time, you do need entrepreneurs to tackle and build things for India and for globally. And, I think it's a unique opportunity India has. And, all the elements which you need is already here, and so I think India is very well positioned to do. The entrepreneurs I meet, we had, as part of me being here, along with Rajan, who heads Google India, we hosted a set of entrepreneurs, and, I spent a bunch of time talking to them. When I see entrepreneurs here, they seem no different to me than the kind of people I meet in the Valley. So intrinsically, I think India can do the same kinds of things. And as the internet becomes more mainstream, people feel more confident. You have a much larger domestic market to tackle. That'll give you the confidence to tackle not just a local market, but global problems as well. So I think we're very well positioned.
Would it be fair to say that the number of entrepreneurs in a system is almost a measure of the confidence of a generation?
Yeah, the one good thing about India is I think, there's always been, whenever in India I used to walk around and go to some remote corner and find a tea stall, I always felt there is an entrepreneur there somewhere who saw that opportunity. So I think that streak has always existed. But I do think this generation, to your earlier point, I think is less, afraid to take risks and follow a conformist path, which is good.
Excellent. I hope this realized somewhere that the generation before allowed them to do that, but that's okay. Okay, let's go to Shrey Goswami. Shrey, there you are. From Purnima University, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Sundar, and hi, Harsha. Yeah, I just want to ask that there are large number of developers who are students and developing quality apps, and they have startups as well. So how Google is planning to help them or support them apart from GBG or GDG groups?
Developers are, I think, the bloodline of software, right? The more developers you have, you'll have more ideas and problems getting solved. India is, uniquely positioned. There's tremendous interest in software development compared to most countries in the world. One of the things which we announced, as part of me coming here, is we have a new program underway we are investing now. We plan to do this over the next 3 years to train 2 million new Android developers. And we are doing that in partnership with 30 universities. And so I'm incredibly excited by that. And, because for me, getting that many developers out there in the workforce, some of them will be entrepreneurs and will go on to solve many new things.
A lot of these people are from Delhi, maybe they're from around here, but I think you'll find that the real fever will actually come from outside the metros. I'm not saying these people don't have the fever, but it's fantastic to see how India has grown into the smaller towns. And it's grown largely because people like Google have made information available to them. So Google has almost democratized society to that extent.
Exciting to hear.
Okay, we've now got, oh, we've got a teacher. This way. Malini Narayanan. From Army Public School, Shankar Vihar?
Yeah.
All right.
Morning.
Come on.
All right, turn back this way.
Ah, there you are, ma'am.
Yeah. A special moment to interact with you. Must also tell you that we have over 200, 300 school students here, and I head the Army Public School. I'm the principal. My question to you is, the Indian education system has done extremely well. We have you in Google, and that is the proof of the pudding. We want to know, how do we now adapt ourselves to become future ready? And what are the skills and the techniques that the children now need to learn so that they have an edge over the other competitors? There are plenty of nations fielding people. So how do we get the edge over the other nations of the world?
Thank you. For me, I think a way, as you said, India has a strong educational system, and there's a culture of valuing education, which is phenomenal. I think ways in which we could move forward would be, for me, if I look at what is needed to solve the next generation of problems, creativity is an important attribute. I think so. Encouraging more creativity through the educational system. Today, I do think our educational system values, rigorous academic knowledge over necessarily, being more creative in how you approach education. I think that's important. Another thing I would say is, and I think I've seen it in the best schools in the US, etc. It's what I call, it's very experiential, very hands-on. People learn how to do things by doing them, and not just by learning about them, right? And I think that's a big difference. So, to me, so allowing a system in which there's a lot more creativity, learning how to get things done by hand, and so much more of a project-based experiential learning are all, I think, trends which the Indian educational system needs to adopt. And I also think it's important to teach students to take risks, and and making sure the system doesn't penalize for you to take risks, and if you're different. And so those are all attributes which I think are important.
You have no idea how popular you just became with her students. No, but it's interesting, because a lot of the time in the Indian education system, as I was getting my son to study for his exams, and he said they're only testing me on what someone else has already answered. They're not allowing me to learn for myself. And what Google has done now is Google gives all the answers to the questions that are going to come in the exam. So how do people study? And it's a very valid question that she asked. How do we study now? So the education system has now got to adapt to the fact that Google is giving you all the answers anyway. Maybe that's one of the reasons why we are very good at re-engineering, but not as good as inventing. So, okay, there you are. Thank you, Mani. Thank you very much. Okay, we've got another video question coming for us. Here's an interesting one. Can we play the video, please?
Hi Sundar, why do we still not have Indian desserts as Android OS names? Like N for Naan Khatai, N for Neyappam, or maybe P for Peda?
When I meet my mom, I'll ask her for suggestions, and but maybe what I'll do next time is when we are working on the next release of Android N, maybe we'll do an online poll on what the name should be, and if all Indians vote, I think we can make it happen.
Let me tell you one thing about Indians online. The only community that ever wins online polls are Indians. Because we just have such numbers.
Which is why I'm suggesting it.
I suspect your mother might say when you get to P that P for payasam will be good.
Though when I was young, I never liked sweets. Now I do. I used to take the payasam and actually add sambar to it, so that it didn't taste that sweet.